രാജശ്രീ വെങ്കിട്ടരമണൻ ഇപ്പോൾ വായിക്കുന്നത് 120 വേർഡ്സ് ഹയർ 5 മിനിറ്റാണ് വായിക്കുന്നത്. ഈ വായിക്കുന്ന മാറ്ററിൻ്റെ കുറച്ച് ഔട്ട്ലൈൻ ഈ മുകളിൽ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അത് വളരെ നല്ല രീതിയിൽ പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്യണം. ആദ്യം ഔട്ട്ലൈൻ പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്യുക. നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാമായിരിക്കാം, എന്നാലും ഇവിടെ എഴുതിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതും കൂടി നല്ലോണം പഠിച്ചാൽ ഈ വായിക്കാൻ പോകുന്ന മാറ്റർ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വളരെ നല്ല രീതിയിൽ എഴുതുവാൻ സാധിക്കുന്നതാണ്. എന്ത് എഴുതിയാലും തിരിച്ച് ഔട്ട്ലൈനെല്ലാം ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലേക്ക് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യണം. അത് വളരെ വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് ആണ്. ഗ്രാമലോക്സൊക്കെ ഡെയിലി പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്യണം. കുറച്ച് 4-5 മാസമായ ശേഷമാണ് ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോൾ രണ്ടാമത് വായിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങിയിരിക്കണേ. ധാരാളം 120 വേർഡ്സ് ഈ യൂട്യൂബിൽ വായിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഓക്കെ, തുടങ്ങാം. മിസ്റ്റർ ചെയർ, I am grateful to the leader of the House for responding the request I had made last time that there should be a periodical debate on the economic policy of the country. I was also happy, sir, that the Business Advisory Committee had defined the scope of our discussion today and tomorrow and had advised government to supply the members with necessary information. I was surprised, therefore, to find that the information that has been given to us is a document, while an important policy speech has been made just now on the floor of the House, and important policy announcements also have been made today, of which no notice were given to us. I thought from the discussion in the Business Advisory Committee that the basic date of government's policy would be given to us beforehand. Anyway, that has not been done. I would also like to register my protest against the use of certain words over and over again. The Prime Minister, the Finance Minister, and their colleagues go about telling us and warning us that the policy of this government is not guided by an approach, but it is a practical approach. I would like to know this. We have a democratic setup in our country. When you were the founding fathers, when you were trying to draw up the constitution of our country, was it considered doctrinaire by you, while it was said that the judiciary should be separated from the legislature of our country and the executive? After all, the experience of democracy tells us that if the rights and the liberties of the people are to be safeguarded, the independence of the judiciary must be measured. Likewise, the experience of the world teaches us that if a backward economy is to develop, then the levers of control, like the banks and insurance companies, must be in the hands of the state. There is nothing doctrinaire about it. That is a practical conclusion that has come out of the experiences of diverse people who have sought to achieve development in diverse conditions. Such conclusions cannot be dismissed merely as doctrinaire. I would like to confine my observations to the industrial policy which has been pursued so far. The industrial policy was first announced in 1948, when it was announced that conditions in the country were far from normal. Our industrial machines have been overstrained during the war and had been seriously weakened because of the communal frenzy. There was considerable amount of disruption in the channels of production. There was a widespread nervousness among men of capital, and if I am not mistaken, the Prime Minister at that time had thought it proper to endorse my observations that capital was on strike. It was in such circumstances, at a time when the government, there were elements in it which the Prime Minister often described as righteous and reactionary, that the industrial policy was adopted. Perhaps the industrial policy that was evolved as a result of concessions that had been made to these righteous and reactionary elements inside the cabinet, and also because of the special circumstances, national and international, that were then prevailing. In these circumstances, it was done. But those circumstances have changed today. That is one of the reasons why it was laid down in that policy statement that there should be a review of the industrial policy after 10 years. We are called upon to have an early review, not only because the conditions have changed radically, but we are embarking upon the second 5-year plan, wherein the accent will be on industrialization. At such a time, it is absolutely necessary that we review the fundamentals of our industrial policy. ഈ വായിച്ച മാറ്ററിൻ്റെ കുറച്ച് ഔട്ട്ലൈൻസാണ് ഈ ഫോട്ടോയിലിട്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. അതാദ്യം പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്യൂ. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ ഈ മാറ്റർ എഴുതണം. എഴുതി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലേക്ക് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഒരിക്കലും മറക്കരുത്. ഓക്കെ.